Hey guys, so I have been testing out a few panel lights recently at weddings I've been shooting. I bought a couple of different panel lights basically because I want to try new things creatively. I wanted to try different colors in photos and see what I could create, and also just to use as lighting instead of using a flash all the time. So I thought I would try a couple of different ones. I wanted two because I wanted to use two different colors using the RGB settings at the same time. So I needed two, and I thought I might as well buy two different brands because then I can compare them and see which one I like best for you guys. So first up, we've got the Boling BL-P1. That's this one here. And it is about the same size as my phone. This is a Samsung S10. It is a little bit heavier than my phone. It's not much wider. So it's basically like a phone, which is really handy because I want to be able to slip it in a pocket and carry it everywhere rather than having like some big lighting kit. The way I work is all about keeping things light and small. So this fits in really well with that. The other light we're looking at is the Lumecube Pro. These are the two side by side. This is the Lumecube and this is the Boling. You can see the Lumecube is a little bit bigger. If you can see there, this is the Lumecube. They're much the same though. The Lumecube is bigger, but it is actually a little bit lighter, weirdly. Probably about the same weight as my phone, maybe a tiny bit heavier. So they're much the same in size. They're both about the same size as a smartphone. And looks-wise, they're about the same as well. They've both got sort of a diffusion panel. The Lumecube does have an extra diffusion panel over the top that you can take on and off for extra brightness and extra harshness and things like that. This Boling one doesn't have an extra diffuser on top, but I think it's good enough as it is. So let's look at the actual hardware on them. So the Boling one has got, first of all, you'll notice this sort of hot shoe attachment area, which means that you can kind of attach it to your camera in lots of different ways. So you can attach it like that, different angles, like this. It comes with a cold shoe adapter here. So you can attach it to that any way you like. There are all these different holes. As you can see, we've got holes all around. We can get it to focus. There we go. All those little holes that you can attach it to in here, over here. These are basically like cubes. So you can attach it to any part of that cube. So that's pretty cool. The only thing is that it's not like simple. There's not just one little cold shoe attachment thread in the middle that you can just put it on the camera. So it's not as simple as just plonking it on the camera. You've got to think about where you attach it and how. So, maybe I want it on top and it's on there, or I can have it on the side. If you pull it out, you can do it there. Upwards, you can move it all around. Basically, it goes in and out and all over the place. So you can attach it any way to the camera you like, which is quite nice, I think, because it gives you can have it off to the side, which means the light is coming slightly from the side, which might be more natural. And you can have it a bit higher up, you can have it in front of the camera a little bit or a bit behind. So that's quite cool. The only thing is it's a little bit fussy to use. It comes with a little Allen key to tighten these little screws. If you can see here, you tighten the screws, one there, and there's one up there as well, which is a bit fiddly. So basically, I'm using a handheld at the moment. I'm literally holding it like this to light my subjects rather than attaching it to the camera. The other one, the Lumecube, has the same sort of thing. It also comes with a cold shoe mount. It's got one thread, so you can only have it like this, or the other way around, or like this, basically in the middle edges. And that is all you can do with it. So it keeps it simple, but it's not as much. There's not as much you can play with on that. So that is kind of what it looks like. Otherwise, we've got the on buttons, which are the Boling has a switch up and down. So the on button is just the on button. That's really easy. The Lumecube has this on button here that you hold down, and on it goes. And that also cycles through different modes, which you can see on the back screen. So we've got normal light. You've got different warmths, different white balances of the normal light. The Boling one goes from 2500 so quite warm, up to, I'm having a look on the panel here, 8500. So it's got quite a scope of white balance on there. However, the Lumecube goes from 3000 up to 5700, so not quite as much scope. However, when it's at the warmest setting, the Lumecube looks warmer, even though it's not warmer in kelvins. So they both have similar functionalities in the sense they have the white balance, they both have similar brightness. I think they've got, numbers-wise, they've got the exact same brightness. And they've both got this setting where you can have color. So let's set those. So here we go. You scroll through and it will go through all the colors. I don't know if you can see it on there. Maybe I need to do this in the dark. There we go. You can see it on my face. It's going through all the colors, blues, and it goes through all the sort of purples, pinks, reds, yellows, all of that, as you can see on my face. The other one does the exact same thing. So it cycles through all the colors as well. So the same colors, as you can see on my face, it's going through them. I'm holding down the switch to make it go through the colors. So they're pretty much the same. They both do a sort of patterned light type thing, I guess you could call it, sort of strobes and stuff, like sirens and things like that. It does this. They both do that. It's not very nice. It's not very pleasant with all these flashing lights. And I think it's probably more of a TV thing. Like if you're filming for TV, that's quite handy there. But we're not really going to use that, I don't think. So they both do basically the same things. Now, the main difference for me is the way the buttons and switches work. So there's a big difference there for me. So on the bowling one, this one here, it's got a button on the side that you use to go through each type of thing. So it'll go from normal light, as you can see on my hand, to the coloured light, to the strobe lighting, and just cycles through those. And you've got a switch here. So this takes you through either the warmths. I'll do it using colour, in fact, then you can see the difference more. So I'm holding down this switch. As you can see, it's changing colour as I hold it down. And this one below makes it brighter and darker. So I can do all that with one hand without having to really look at what I'm doing. Whereas the Lumecube, you have to go through, you have to look at the screen, basically. So they each have a screen on the back. The Lumecube requires you to use the screen. So you have to click on the mode button and go between the brightness, the temperature, the color, and then you've got the scenes and strobes there. So in order to make it brighter and darker, you have to go to that menu there. You can see this, see the percentage go up and down. In order to go to the temperature, you have to then click on that and go up and down. And in order to go through color, again, you click the top one and you can go through different colors. So you can see on my hand, it's changing the color as I scroll through there. I'm holding this dial down here. Whereas the bowling one also has a screen, but you only have to click that button to cycle through. So we're on strobe, we're on plain light with color balance, and we've got the actual colors as well on here. And then you can change your color holding down this dial, and you can change the adjustment of the level, so brighter or darker, using this dial. So if you've decided what you want, which is blue, you can easily just go and change the brightness of it with the other dial, whereas the Lumecube is missing the other dial. You have to go back through the menu and manually turn the brightness up and down. Another thing that the bowling does that the Lumecube doesn't do is saturation of color. So I can go onto my menu, and there's a little bit of the menu called HSI. If I scroll the S, that number goes down and it makes it a much less saturated blue. I'll hold it against my face. So it gets less and less saturated, the color. And then if I hold it back up again, you can see the blue is getting much more saturated. So the other one, the Lumecube, doesn't seem to do that. So that's pretty cool, I think, to be able to change the saturation of the color. However, they're both very similar lights. They're very similar in size, in weight. I would say the Boling has easier buttons to use and an extra functionality. They both have battery life. The Boling has battery life shown just in a picture of battery, and it lasts probably about 2.5 hours, I think, depending on your brightness, your strength. Whereas the Lumecube, if you can see, at the top, it actually says how long you've got left on the battery. So this at the moment is saying 6 hours, 30 minutes. If I make it less bright, it gives me a lot more power time, basically. So I've now got 12 hours 49 on at 20% strength. I don't know if you can see that on there, but this strength gives you 12 hours, so nearly 13 hours, which is pretty cool. So I think they've both got about the same battery life. It's just that one will tell you how long you've got left, and the other one is just a sort of symbol of the battery. So they're both pretty similar in that respect. They also both charge using USB-C. So you can use a power bank or whatever you want if you're on the move. You can just really easily charge it. They both use those. And they both come with a pouch. Now, this is what I really love about the Boling one. It comes with this pouch that has clips. Now I can attach that to my belt. So my belt goes through here, my camera belt. It's like a waist belt thing. Goes through there, and I can have that light on me all the time, which is great. So if I need it, I can just whip it out of the pouch. It's in there. And also what's quite cool is that while it's annoying, you need the little Allen key to fiddle with this bit here, the Allen key actually lives in the pouch. There it is. It's pretty cute. So actually, you don't lose the Allen key at all. It's always in there. So I really, really love the pouch. I think it's fantastic. Let's turn this off. Nice and easy in there. Goes onto my belt. Brilliant. The Lumecube does also have a pouch, but it's just a little material pouch there to protect it. So you can easily keep it in your camera bag, but it's not going to easily attach itself to any belt that you've got or anything like that. So you could put maybe a carabiner on that or something maybe. But I think, yeah, the Boling pouch is really, really cool. So they're the main differences between the two. They both do white balance. Boling has a bigger scope of white balance. They both do RGB, so full spectrum of colors. But the Boling also does saturation as well. And they've both got like strobe lighting and things like that for a party or for filming something. And that's pretty much all you need them for, is the white balance light and the color light sometimes as well. And they're both pretty equal in their ability to do that. So that's really good. Price-wise, the Lumecube is coming up at £150 on Amazon at the moment, and the Boling is coming up at £115 on Amazon. So that always changes. I think we got the Lumecube for a little bit less than that at the time. But yeah, these are both pretty decent panel lights. We really like them. We've used them a little bit at weddings so far, and we really love what they can do. They've really helped us in that sort of early evening, low light time where you don't want to use a flash, and for outside as well. So we had an outside first dance for our first time using the panel lights, and I lit it using the light, and it worked really, really well. It's just brilliant. You could use it on the dance floor to light people up. It's not got that much scope. You can't use it really, really far away, but it's really good for giving you a bit of extra something when you don't want to use flash, or if you can't use flash. So yeah, both really brilliant panel lights, and I hope that was helpful for you.